Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. I wanted to talk a little bit today about a little bit of my own personal experience in recent days and how much things just don't seem to be going right now, in the sense of working on this van system. I mean, it is built, as you can see, but I had to revamp the electrical system in here, and I ran into a hiccup today where the way I wanted to mount my solar panels isn't going to work, so I have to I had to shop for a new rack system for the roof, and so now I've lost days. I've also lost more money, and there's places I want to be, in particular for the solar eclipse. Of course, I want to be somewhere close to the track of that, because I'd love to be right under it. It might even be cool to do a reading that day. If I have signal and everything, I don't even know if I can or not, but it would be cool to do like a live stream, or like a live reading situation. If I choose to do something like that and I'm not able to do it here, I will leave a post here to let you know that I'll be over on Instagram, because on Instagram I can go live at any time. That's just something you can do there, and it's the same as here, Matt on Life. I think it's Matt_on Life, because you can't have spaces or something. But you'll find me, same avatar and everything. That is just my personal page. I don't have a separate page for anything related to tarot or anything, but I decided against that ultimately after having one for a while, because I just didn't want to separate it. I don't want tarot to be like weird, or I don't know what. I'm not ashamed of it, and it's also like I don't need to hide my regular life from my woo-woo life, or vice versa. I believe in integration, you know? So anyway, stay tuned for that, maybe. We'll see. I really don't know yet, and the reason why I don't know is because things are not going well, like I said. But it did occur to me that we are in the shadow phase of Mercury retrograde right now, and by the way, it is the spring equinox. Happy equinox to everybody. Now that our days are equalized, that's happy news. But yeah, I wanted to talk about it a little bit and maybe just do some card reading on the topic of sort of persevering through setbacks right now. And I think I'm just going to start with the cards, because I don't really know what I wanted to say. I just knew that it was important to maybe address it now. So, you know, what do we need to know about persevering through setbacks during this Mercury retrograde? We also, by the way, Mercury retrograde. We also have, by the way, the lunar eclipse on the 25th. So we've got a lunar eclipse, and then not long after that, we've got the solar eclipse, which is really interesting and fun. For whatever that's worth, you know, there's a lot of people that talk pretty deeply about these things, but this particular lunar eclipse is in Libra, and I've heard a lot of people speak to the idea that contracts, either within relationships or business or whatever, depending on maybe where your house placement is for Libra, is you're pretty much either going to confirm or renew a contract or eliminate a contract. And for some people, 6 months ago during Libra season, they were basically in a spot where they had walked away from something. And actually, I have personal thoughts on that. But now it's coming to a full it's coming full circle now, and it's like it's sort of like last call or final chance to either correct course and maybe go back to something that you know, relationship, whatever, or to just go ahead and close that door and move on. So no pressure. But anyway, regarding what we need to know about this Mercury retrograde and setbacks, and whether or not to persevere or whatever, what advice does Spirit have for us, this is it. We're kicking it off with the Four of Cups. So, you know, this is me pouting about my solar panels. Four of Cups. We've got the Page of Swords here. Okay. And then the final card is the Four of Wands. You know, I see that's interesting because you have two fours, and the Page of Swords is one that sometimes can be a little bit nitpicky about boundaries and insisting on setting them, establishing them, trying to communicate them, but can be a little pushy too, almost like a security, like you've heard me say it, like a security guard that's, you know, maybe a little overzealous sometimes. And, you know, because they're educated too, they've been studying, so they know everything about everything. So obviously they're right and you're wrong, and how dare you say anything to them? I don't know what that was. What I see here, though, is like there's a threat to the stability of a situation, or your feeling of stability, and you're sort of just, it feels like a little bit of a hang up, because you're like, man, I just feel like I can't move forward, yet there's an opportunity right on the horizon, okay? That's pretty cool. What's the underlying? Temperance. Yeah, temperance. Patience, you know? Be patient with it. You notice the two cups there, and the water's being poured back and forth without any loss of emotional energy, right? Without any water, and without any drip splash. Mercury retrograde, and as you can see here, there is that new cup coming in. So I think it's just saying chill out. Like, that's kind of the vibe I'm getting at the onset here. Again, apologies for angles. I think I'm gonna do some mounts over, you know, somehow, so I can do maybe like a dual shot thing, but we'll see. Anyway, let's get a little more information. If we could get some clarification on that Four of Cups. We've got the Hanged Man and the King of Cups that came out together. The Hanged Man and the King of Cups. It is about developing the mastery of your emotions. You know, this card, it represents Scorpio in the zodiac. What is wrong with me? I can't speak. It represents Scorpio, and this is Pisces, by the way. But what we have here on the surface is just the idea of gaining enlightenment through uncomfortable situations, and that in turn is creating a situation where your emotional intelligence has sort of reached a level of full maturity. You know, Scorpios, represented by the King of Cups, is a fixed energy, and that is, I mean, if it's frozen water, ruled by Pluto, frozen water, that water ain't liquefied, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. The King of Cups is actually so stable around, with all that turbulent water around him, you know. So that's a good thing. It's just basically saying you're learning how to rock with turbulent energy. Underlying the deck here is the Three of Swords, so that is a disappointment and a setback, which is like exactly what I was talking about. So maybe some of this energy is relatable to you. Hopefully I'm not hijacking the reading specifically, but I figured I can't be the only one. Surely I can't be the only one right now. All right, let's go ahead and get a little clarification for the Page of Swords. Let's get a clarification for the Page of Swords. King of Pentacles. King of Pentacles. This person, this energy, it's not about people, it's not about other people. Remember what I said about you. This energy has to do with basically having gotten through in the realm of money and finance and those sorts of things, like having gone through the process of acquiring those things, and is sort of established. Sometimes it can represent an entrepreneurial energy. Sometimes it just represents your own personal wealth, whatever it is you've collected there. And sometimes this king can be a little bit complacent and a little bit stagnant. You know, he's just kind of chilling. You know, he's in vacation mode. You know, drinking his wine and just kicking it. I don't know why I said drinking his wine. He doesn't have any wine. I'm not sure what that is, but he's got grapes all around him. So, you know, give it enough time. And then underlying is the Eight of Pentacles. This is about mastery and skill development, perfecting your craft. Perfecting is what you do. So, in other words, so I like that because I was talking about this, and I don't normally, but about being educated. Remember that? I've got the education. I know what I'm talking about. Yada, yada, yada. They don't have any experience yet. They've got classroom type education, but they don't have any actual lived experience, so they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. But over time, that gets put into practice. Something comes of that, and it can lead to a situation where you're in abundance. So, when I think of the whole thing contextually there, to me, it's saying, hey, okay, so you've got, maybe this isn't me. This is, I don't have hardly any education, but you may have acquired skills on paper. You may have gone through the course or the certification, or you've got your degree, but there's some kind of hang up here. For many of you, this could be about a career situation. Maybe you haven't been out of school all that long. I don't know. And you're not seemingly able to get your foot through the door on something regarding careers, because it's hard to get started. Everybody wants experience. It's just part of the deal, but, time, it could be that there's an opportunity that would present itself that maybe just isn't the ideal situation that you actually want, but what it will give you is time with the applied knowledge. Okay, and it will lead to abundance. Let's get some clarification on this Four of Wands. The Four of Wands card is being, of course, a card of stability, celebration. It's the this is a card that represents like solid institutional relationships and stuff, like marriages or long-term relationships or good partnerships of any type of business, whatever. But the two people there are happy and fulfilled and celebrating under their stable tent of Four Wands. But what do we need to know about it? The Hierophant. Okay, I did say institution. That's funny. The Hierophant. Okay, this card is a Taurus card. And it is a card representing institutions. It really is. It's a card. It can represent religious institutions or governing bodies or teachers, apprentice, master. You know what I'm trying to say. Wow, I'm having a hard time talking. This is baffling. Apologies. But we do have this amazing card here, and basically what I'm thinking is it's doubling down on this idea of stability. So there may have been something like that you felt was legitimately established in some way, that maybe that's been disrupted in some way. I'm not really sure. Let's look at the underlying. King of Wands. Wow, okay, that's been 3 kings so far. So a lot of masculine energy here in the read. The King of Wands is one that can really drive through adversity as well, because the passion that they have drives them in a very consistent way. It's a maturation of passion. It's also kind of the passions don't get the better of them either. Like they're able to still be calculated and move with passion without being overrun by their passion. So there's actually a lot of control in this card. Yeah, and good fortune as well. I think that over time, as you get through this circumstance, whatever it may be, people are going to be looking up to you. They might recognize the trial that you've gone through and really look up to you and see how much you've managed to be kind of stable with these 3 kingly energies, and maybe would even begin to see you as a bit of a teacher or an authority on the topic, right? You may find yourself in that opportunity. Maybe every time we have any kind of setback or negative situation in our life, gives us an opportunity to learn something. It also gives us the opportunity to impart that wisdom onto other people. And I think it's really important to do that. You don't have to do it for personal gain or for some kind of self-interest, but like if you learn something, share it with enthusiasm and love to help other people around you. That's if we all did that, this world would be a better place. And I think if people had the humility to listen to others, the world would be a better place. There's a lot of lack of understanding between people right now generally, and I do think because I kind of felt that way about the Page of Swords. Like, it seemed sort of aggressive, a little bit bitchy. I don't know. And there's reasons for people to respect other people, even if they think they don't agree with that person. And the way that we can respect other people is by actually listening to them. So don't be afraid to share your knowledge and your experience, whatever this season may bring that is a setback to you. Which is funny. By the way, if you want to know anything about van building for whatever reason, maybe an opportunity comes up, let me know in the comments. I will show you everything I did wrong and what I would do different. There's a lot of screw-ups in this van. A lot. I was very, very rushed, and then that was a mistake. I shouldn't have even started it until I was, until the other obligations were finished. But, man, I can give you plenty of great advice on what not to do. Now, we're going to get an outcome line here. We're kicking it off with the Ten of Swords. So something is coming to an end. And like I told you about the full moon in Libra, I wouldn't be surprised if some of you are like contractually ending something. Maybe you've had your foot halfway out the door for a long time. Maybe it's just time to finish that. And not for everyone, of course, but specifically there may be something about approximately 6 months ago that may ring a bell to you, and that's probably what it has to do with, but again, it could be anything. Okay, we also have the Tower. Okay, this is a rapid change. So yeah, clearly there's some shaking up going on. And then we've got the Two of Swords here. I mean, the Two of Swords is an opportunity and an invitation to think outside the box about something. So if you are kind of hung up a little bit about embracing these changes, maybe you're just not sure that you can make a certain change or take a course of action, and so you're sort of holding on to the old situation because you feel like there's not anything on the other side of it, right? You're being asked to think outside the box. You're being asked to really embrace whatever may come. There's something else. It could be a total left turn. It's like I said, if you learn something through a trial or a tribulation, you may gain some new wisdom, and it may be the launch pad to a new career for you or something, right? You may learn something very profound and have something to share that's actually going to end up blessing you with lots of abundance if you have the willingness to put yourself out there, perhaps. Underlying is the Knight of Swords, so that is a very fast energy. It's also, to me, it's, it could be some change, obviously, with the Tower there. It could be some change that's happening very, very fast. Something that's coming in very quickly. I also think it's a reminder, though, not to overreact. Not to get too hasty, like slow down a little bit. Think back to that Eight of Pentacles, where they're just chiseling away at it. They're taking their time. Unlike me with this van, they took their time, and it shows. Okay? So, don't rush. If something changes or something comes to an end that you're really not so excited about, just take a deep breath. Okay? Yeah, interesting. I do think that there are so many opportunities here for you to gain so much wisdom, and for me to gain so much wisdom, for all of us to gain so much wisdom, if we can learn to listen to the changes, listen to the aspects of the thing that are scary, the things that scare us the most. What established thing in your life are you just so afraid to lose? Yeah, that's interesting. All right, friends. Well, buckle up. Who knows? I'm excited to see what this season of life brings. I believe it'll bring a lot of good things, but when we're experiencing setbacks, let's keep in mind that it's always an opportunity to learn. There are no bad experiences. There are only experiences. How you process them is what determines whether they're good or bad. In some ways. I know there are some things that are just pretty objectively bad, so you don't need to reply to that. I'm trying to encourage you. If it's not something criminal and heinous, there's probably a way to maybe try to look at it with a different lens. And if you are in the trench of something right now, I just want you to know I love you. It'll get better. It will get better. And you are gaining so much wisdom right now. So take it. Take the wisdom. And I will see you next time. Okay, bye.